So the security threat landscape. What we're trying to do here and what we're trying to get across in terms of the message is that cybersecurity covers your entire IT environment. They're not bits and pieces that you essentially bolt together and look at particular threats. Everything works harmoniously to keep you secure. So whether that's infrastructure, whether that's applications, whether that's data, all of these elements have a value to your organization, and therefore they're prime targets for those cybersecurity criminals out there. Partners are also something you really need to be aware of. So any organizations that you interact with or solutions that you use as part of your IT infrastructure, so third-party vendors, they can be a door into your business, and really you should be doing as much due diligence as you can be in regards to security, to make sure that those companies are doing all they can to ensure that they have the right security measures in place, because any weaknesses that they have within their security is potentially an open door into your organization from a security perspective. So what sort of threats are there? Well, there's two really. There's traditional threats, and then there's the more modern threats that people might not be as aware of as they would as the more traditional threats. So I'm sure a lot of people on this call have heard of ransomware, phishing scams, malware, and those traditional threats. But there's a few example modern threats that you might not be aware of that we're going to be covering off today. So things like smart contracts, like social engineering attacks, like deep fake. So deep fake is something that you might be aware of already, but not know exactly what it is. So deep fake is fake news examples. So there was a very prominent one with regards to Barack Obama, where Barack Obama video had been edited and the messaging essentially caused him to, in terms of his political campaign, it caused issues with his political campaign. There's AI enhanced cyber threats. So essentially what's happening here is AI is something that's very prominent in the marketplace at the moment for good, but hackers and cyber criminals are essentially using AI to enhance their cyber threats. They're using them to evolve and produce more and more sophisticated attack mechanisms. There's machine learning poisoning, AI fuzzing, and numerous other threats that you need to be aware of that we'll cover off on this webinar series. I'll now pass you on to Paul. He's going to run through how to best tackle these threats, and obviously any questions at the end of the webinar.
Thanks, Liam, and welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us today. So a quick intro about me. I'm the CTO here at Cloud Direct, responsible for our technical strategy. And as Liam said, I also head up the professional services side of the business, which includes our Azure, modern workplace, modern data and application practice areas. I've been with Cloud Direct now for around 5 years. And prior to that, I was a technical director for a London-based MSP. So over the next few slides, what I'd like to do is just set the scene, identify the security challenges and the threats faced by today's businesses, before I dive into Microsoft's cybersecurity architecture to highlight how these products and services in the portfolio can be employed to combat the challenges we face. So it's clear we're in an era of flux and transformation. Everybody is now in the technology business. Digital transformation is continuing apace. And typically this is to keep up with competitors, to provide better services for customers and results for shareholders. Companies are now needing to develop new digital capabilities and to break down historical data silos to affect this transformation. Many companies are now developing their own software and selling products online, and data and information are the lifeblood of the transformation, which is increasingly attracting cybercriminal activity. What's more is that conventional security tools and approaches can no longer fully protect us. The traditional siloed on-premise tools and data sets lack somewhat visibility, correlation and automation. And paradoxically, adding more tools will make you less secure. And a traditional hardened network perimeter is probably at best a security blanket that won't hold. What's more is that security professionals can't just be expected to solve this problem alone. With an overwhelming sea of alerts, complex digital estates, and an evolving threat landscape, coupled with a chronic talent shortage, we'll never have enough people to plug that gap.